Welcome, beautiful people, back to another episode of Comfort Foods Kitchen. As you can see, I am not Nigerian. I am married to a Nigerian. He's from West Africa, and he has taught me so many different dishes that they eat where he's from, his cultural food. And I've been really enjoying teaching these dishes to you. But today what we're going to do is okra soup. And these are the ingredients that we're going to be using. We're going to be using okra, palm oil, and cayenne pepper, chicken flavored bouillon, salt, powdered shrimp, and a cup of water. Now for the meats we're going to be using, I use whiting fish. I smoke this fish myself. So the whiting fish, the cow feet, tripe, and shrimp. And coming back to the okra, I want to let you know that when you do get these the okra in the packages, sometimes you have little pieces like this and these hard pieces on top. You need to eliminate those. Leave those out because they do not get soft and it's not very appetizing. So just don't even put that into this recipe. So let's get started. First of all, in a hot pot, I'm going to use 2 tablespoons, 1, 2 tablespoons of palm oil. I'm going to use 1, he likes this very spicy, so I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon, a half a teaspoon of salt, there we go, and I'm going to let that get hot and we're going to stir this around, get everything all mixed up in here good. Now this dish right here doesn't take that long to cook, and they call it swallow food, whereas we may call it finger food, because you don't necessarily use a knife and a fork. It's like if you're eating pizza, you know, you don't usually use a knife and fork for a slice of pizza. Some people do. But in this case right here, this is called swallow food because we're just going to be using our fingers. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is put in our cup of water. And our shrimp powder. And it's going to be a teaspoon of shrimp powder. And we're going to just let this get hot. And we're going to let it cook a little bit, about 5 minutes. And I'll be right back with you. Welcome back. Okay, now we're going to put in our meat. See that this sauce is very hot. So we're going to put our shrimp in, our fish. Now this is the type of fish I use. I mean, it's your preference. You can use whatever you choose to use. And you can use whatever meats you want in here. It doesn't necessarily have to be this type of meat. So we're going to let this cook for about a couple of minutes. Just a couple of minutes is all we need. About maybe 3 minutes, okay? And in the meantime, what I'm going to do is cover this. And we're going to have it on medium heat. And then I'm going to show you how to cut this okra. This was a bag of frozen okra. And I'm using half of that bag. It was a 15-ounce bag. But it depends on how many people you're cooking this for. Now, this right here is only going to be for 2 to 3 people. So this is the way I'm doing it. I try to get small pieces. Sometimes I leave a little bit bigger pieces. The smaller the pieces, the more slimier it's going to be. And I'll be right back with you. So I'm still chopping on this okra. I want to get some mostly fine pieces. I also want you to like me and subscribe to my channel. And also there's a notification button on the right side of the subscription button. So make sure you press on that for future notifications of other recipes that I like to show you. Now, the reason that I like doing this is because there are a lot of American women that are married to African men and are just discovering African foods. So I wanted to show you this to make it easier for you because, like I said, I wasn't born over there. I learned this just like I'm trying to teach you. They love their cultural food. They don't usually go up into Burger King and order a burger or pizza. They may do that once in a blue moon, you know, but mainly they like eating the food that they grew up on. So I just wanted to put that out there. And I'm hoping that you're enjoying making these dishes as much as I enjoy making the dishes for my husband. All right. Now, what we're going to do is, this has been cooking for about 3 minutes. And we're going to stir this around, make sure it's not sticking. And add the okra. Now we're going to stir this okra around, and we're going to let this cook for about 10 minutes. This dish does not take that long. This is actually a very easy, very fast dish. So I'll be right back with you. Welcome back, beautiful people. Okay, you can see where our okra soup is just about done here. We just got maybe a couple of more minutes on it. And over here, we're going to make pounded yam. And this is what's going to make it our finger food. We're going to eat the pounded yam once it's done with the okra. Now, the first thing we're going to do is sprinkle this in. This is like sprinkling in cornstarch. You know, you have to be really careful with that because you have to make sure it's all mixed together, that it's not lumpy. And you've seen me make this before in one of my other recipes. And what you do is you just keep stirring it around, and it's going to be the consistency of mashed potatoes. Now, most of the time, when this starts to get very dense, very thick, you can always add a little bit more water to it, kind of soften it up a little bit so you can still work with it and get those lumpy areas out. This is going to be smooth, not lumpy. Now, this is a pounded yam, but you can also use amala or gari. And if you're not sure about what I'm talking about, you find an African store in your area, and they can explain. I mean, it's done the same way. Okay, now the okra soup is ready. I just took that off the fire, and that's done. You can take a look at that. And now we are ready to serve. Welcome back, beautiful people. And we see where my pounded yam is all ready to eat. And I just put it in a little bowl like this. Make it look pretty. And I'm going to put some okra soup right beside it. And as you can see, we're not trying to break up the fish. So the fish is kept in one piece. Well, in the pieces. It's not, I've had it in like 4 different pieces, but it's not broken up. You can see this is not broken up, see? Okay. So this is ready to serve. Now for the best part. Now you see, this is why we call it swallow food. You take a piece with your fingers, a little bit of that sauce, and some meat. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mmm. Mmm. It's very good. All right, folks. Make sure you subscribe and like me. Ring that little bell on the right-hand side. And share this with your friends. Don't keep me all to yourself. It's enough for me to go around and enough recipes for you to enjoy. See you next time.